What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is after phase 2, so this is a post phase 2 video. This will encompass everything that you've learned so far. So switching, right stick switching, double L1 switching, closing the gap, kind of going towards the passing lane and then pressing. I'll go through everything in this video. I'll have the eye tracker on as well, so you can see my eye movement and you can see it live with me pressing the buttons. Now, just as I said, to make this more realistic, as I said, to make it more applicable, we're going to use a 4-2-3-1. I want to put everything on balance on 5. Although I may have a better team than most of you. The team is not really what's important. What's actually really important is you understand the thought process and the perception. So here we've got the tactics and everything on balanced. And just in case you're wondering about the camera angle, I am using the same one that I used in the last video. Ball relative again is what I'm using. And the most important thing is that I'm using the camera setting, which will be co-op 20 zoom, and I think it's, quickly scroll down, 20 and 10 height. The reason I said why we're at 10 height is because some of you guys are on 0 and some of you guys are on 20. So this will just give a kind of a mix in between. So I want to kick the ball out straight away. So now we're playing for a game. It's 0-0, okay? So we don't need to be overly aggressive. So we're going to press a little bit. So we're going to use our, okay, oops, my. He gave the ball back to me. That's a bit odd. Okay, so we're going to play the game normally. That's how we normally do. Nothing too extravagant. I'm going to mainly focus on trying to not go ahead too early on. But I want to focus on him having the ball and basically him pressing. So I'm just going to run like this, like so. See St. Maximin running. Okay, nice. Do a regular fake shot. Okay, now I've lost the ball. I'm going to run back to St. Maximin. Now remember I said the 2 CDMs. Double tap L1. Now I'm being passive now, you see. Once I'm in this region, I'm being passive. I'm not going to press. Now with my cam, I can press a little bit like so to push him away from goal, and I got the ball back. You see, what I did is I cut the passing lane and I pushed him away, as I mentioned in that video. Now I'm going to switch the ball, do an L1 trigger, quick 1-2, driven through ball down the wing. Okay, so we're going to look at the radar. We see someone outside the box. Okay, haven't really got an option now, so just going to look for Kante on our edge of the box. Left stick dribbling, as I mentioned, it's very, very simple. We then see Neymar do an L1 trigger to Neymar, fake shot uppers, and it should very much be a goal. So that is everything that I taught you already. Obviously, a left down long. Oops, unfortunately, this guy may leave, so that might not be a good sign. Hopefully, he doesn't leave, fingers crossed. But 9 minutes in. Now, even though I didn't want to score, the most important thing is now, if you are playing and you're winning, you always want to be passive. You never want to be aggressive. You never want to press your opponent. Yes, sometimes you may hold the ball for a prolonged period of time, but by pressing, you're just going to bring players out of position. So again, you use the 4 strike. Remember I said, for example, your attack in front 4. So for example, your attack in front 4, your 2 CDMs, you leave them in shape. But your attack in front 4, you can use them to press, but press very moderately. As I said, we're winning 1-0. There is no need to press. The big mistake I see people do is when they're 0-0 or when they're 1-0 ahead, they end up becoming overly aggressive and pressing. Remember, when your opponent has the ball, you can sit tight and defend. If, for example, it was 0-0, I might press a little bit more. And if you're 1-0 down, it's even the same thing. At 1-0 down at 9 minutes, let's just say I was 1-0 down. At 9 minutes, there's no need to press. This is what I like to call game management. Certain parts of the game, you may need to press towards the latter end. But at the beginning, even if you're 1-0 down, there's no need to press. If you're 2-0 down, you may feel like you want to press a little bit more, but don't go all out. A lot of you guys just quickly change to the 4-4-2 as soon as you go 1-0 down. It's not a good viable solution because that way you don't control the game. And the worst thing is if you concede one more goal, you could be back to square one again. So again, we're going to use our cam. We'll cut the pass lane and run towards him. We're going to defend this as a kickoff though normally. We're not going to overly press. We want to do this in a bit unconventional way. We're going to apply a bit of pressure. Again, I'm just using the L1 button, as you can see. And as you can see, I'm just literally using the L1 button now, running back with St. Maximin, marking the strike, and that's it. Now you see, the most important thing is that L1 button is the difference between you selecting the right player and selecting the wrong player. Now I said, over time, you can just use the L1 button for player switching. But sometimes, if you want to select your CDM, you can't. For example, like here, I want to select, for example, St. Maximin like that, or I want to switch to Robertson. I couldn't do that if I wasn't switching players. That's why it's really, really important to use a combination of both. So now it's 1-1. So this would be a situation again where now in this situation over here, I wouldn't be overly aggressive. So I'll play normally. But when I don't have possession of the ball, I won't be overly aggressive. I'll try to attempt to score here. left stick dribbling again. I'm going to go down, move away from him, go up, go down again. I'm going to do 1-2 back, round. As you can see, he's actually not pressing me. He's playing a 4-4-2. You can see his 2 strikers are forward. And you see, by running out like that, he made a big mistake by leaving a gap in the middle again. Going to use Kante and run back. Be very, very passive. Good through ball that was by him in the end. Okay, so now we are now 2-1 down. Now 2-1 down, he's going to hold the ball. The most important thing, again, going back again, is that when he holds the ball, the most important thing is you want to press very lightly. So again, it's 90 minutes. We don't want to be too overly aggressive. So we're going to use our striker now. We're going to press this area. Okay, now he's passing the ball on. We're going to keep pressing now. We're going to change to our cam. And we're going to press a little bit like that. We're going to change to our ram. Apply a bit of pressure. But you see, we're just kind of closing the area, the gap. You see, I'm not necessarily running out towards him. I'm just closing the gap. You see now, when he's winning 2-1, he's playing much more passively. This is a sign of a good play. See, look, he's not even rushing anymore. But you can see my cam, look, I'm running towards him and applying a bit of pressure. You can, of course, move your CDM a bit forward, like as I mentioned, fill in the pockets of space. But again, I'm not going to be too aggressive. I'm going to use my cams, going to use my CDMs to defend properly now, defend statically. Oh, so now he scored another goal. So now we're 3-1 down now. So again here, we're not going to panic. It's 25 minutes in. We still got time to play. By going overly aggressive now, we could even concede even more goals. So it's not worth it. We're going to play passive now. He's probably going to be parking the bus now, probably change to a defensive formation. So we have to commit maybe more players forward, maybe be a bit more rigid in attack. Get the ball to Neymar. Okay, we lost the ball now. Going to use Neymar to press. We're going to run. Keep running with Neymar. We're going to now change. Go in front of Nedved. Again, now we're just moving players along. So we're still cutting the passing lanes and I'm pressing at the same time. Again, we're going to be passive now. Use our cam now. We're going to press towards. Run back. Keep pressing. Keep pressing. Keep pressing. We're going to then see all I'm doing here is I'm just running around my cam and I'm applying pressure. That way I'm not keeping my CDMs out of position. Now, if you want to combine them with your CDMs, then you want to do what I like to call filling up the pockets of space. As you can see over here, I'm pressing, but I don't want to press too much because you see, if you press too much like that, you could get done, giving away a penalty. Something very simple like that. You could very easily give the ball away and then you're back to square one again. That's why it's not worth taking a risk and being overly aggressive. Pass the ball up. Ball roll down. Quick 1-2 back. Going to go back, going to go outside the box again. You can see he's gone to a 4-2-3-1. Pass the ball to our striker. Oops, that was meant to be a left and long stick touch. So again, now we're going to apply pressure. We're going to run really, really quick towards him. And now we're not going to be too aggressive. Now we're going to apply a lot of pressure. Now again, you can see, look, watching the right analog stick, I'm switching. I'm always, see how I'm changing players? I brought Neymar back. And that is the part of the manual press. Do a 1-2 backwards. Pass didn't go through. Okay, fine. Now run back with Nedved. Gonna run back with Nedved. Keep running back. Gonna change to my cam. Gonna change to my lamb. Gonna now push players forward. Gonna change to Neymar. Now you see I'm being aggressive with my front three. Now using my cam. Using Nedved. Using my CD. I'm not being too aggressive now. Using Neymar. Pressing. As you can see, look, this is all part of the manual press. I'm just always constantly changing players. But you see with the right analog stick, you guarantee the switch. If you use the L1 button there, it's too risky to use the L1 button. There's no need to use it either. Go up, attempt. Now we're going to pass the ball to Neymar. Now the good thing is if we get a goal over here, maybe he will play, maybe you'll hold the ball a bit more, which would be better for us. So hopefully, fingers crossed, now at 4-2 you hold the ball a bit more and then I can show you more pressing. So again, I wouldn't recommend pressing from kickoff, but if you were to do this, again, I'm filling up the pockets of space. And I see now like he's over here, I'm pushing him down wide. I'm going to bring Neymar now to apply pressure like that. I want to switch to Nedved, to the cam, to my ram now. The Neymar, to Saint Maximin. And as you can see now I'm in trouble now, so I'm just going to play passive now. Defend the goal first. As I said over here, it's 45 minutes now. There's no need to go forward. Just defend the strikers and not concede a goal. Again, he took a very easy shot outside the box. But you see how the game changed. You see, for example, when I was 1-0 ahead, he wasn't really doing anything. He was playing a bit aggressive towards me. But when he was attacking, he was patient. Then when it was 1-1, he held the ball a bit more. He was being more passive. He wasn't being as aggressive. As soon as he went 2-1 up, then 3-1, you see I was retaining the ball much more and playing much more safer. And as you can see, again, you can go to player ratings and you can also see the formation. So you can see he's got a 3 defender formation. Now, in theory, this is not really the best formations to use to play. You can argue it's a very good formation, but for pressing, it's not good because if I trigger a player in behind, he could be in trouble. But because he's winning, it's completely fine. Nedved again, we're going to apply pressure, going to use our left back, then we're going to use Nedved. So you see I'm kind of trapping them together. See I'm switching between them to close the gap. Again, anticipating, running in front of the ball now. L1 switching now. L1, now I'm going to use L1 switching because it's more safer. Again, going to be passive. Now I've got the ball. Let's start the attack. Ooh, made a mistake. Going to be a bit aggressive over here. Not too much now. Made a mistake. Going to be passive now. Mark the center of the goal first. Now we've got the ball again. Load up the attack. We're going to do a driven through ball down the wing. Because he's got no left back and he's only got 3 defenders, this is where he will struggle. If I was him, I would have changed to a 4-2-3-1 and probably made more of a defensive option. Get the ball with Nedved, let him panic. Oops. Bad dribbling from there. Apply a bit of pressure, but not overcommit. See, I'm not overcommitting. Then I'm going to use Saint-Maximin now. Run back with Saint-Maximin. Use my left back a little bit. Then I'm going to use Nedved to apply pressure. Then I'm going to use Saint-Maximin. And then again, so now this is I'm going to use the offside trap to bring the defensive line forward. That way I can press the ball. See, yeah, Robertson got the ball a bit more further up. That's why the offside trap is really important, as I mentioned in the other video. It's not really important, to be honest, but it does really help. If you want to do the advanced pressing manually, it does help a lot. That is actually a really bad pass. Gonna run into the space now. Oops. Ooh, we got very unlucky there. Gonna move the goalkeeper. Ooh, that was a good goal. Attempted to move the goalkeeper there. Really unlucky on the counter attack there. L1 trigger. Now, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can try to get another goal now. Hopefully, because you see, if at this goal advantage is a bit too high, so we're going to try to score another goal. Because at this goal advantage at 5-2, no one really panics. If you imagine him with a 3-goal lead, yes, there's a chance I could come back, but no one would really panic, if that makes sense. Try to get a goal back. Simple left stick dribbling, nothing too extravagant. And yes, goal name, I'm going to do that as well. So Lexa now, he's going to be a bit more, I suppose you can say a bit more patient. Pressing now. Neymar running back now. I ran back too far. Now I can see switching the ball. Now I'm going to use the offside shot to bring the defensive line forward. Then I'm going to L1 switch. Now I'm going to use a towel. I'm press like crazy with my cam and my striker. Going to use my lamb now. Come close. Going to use my cam. Now as you can see, I'm kind of filling up the pockets of space, but I'm not being too aggressive, you see. I'm not completely running towards him. I'm applying pressure so he has to maneuver the ball, but I'm not being overly aggressive. You see that? Then here I'm gonna quickly apply a little bit of pressure there. So he's giving the ball away. Now in this situation, I'm going to change to a 4-4-2. Now this is important. The 4-4-2 is a bit better for pressing because you have the 2 strikers up front. Although this will leave more space in behind, it's much better for pressing. We use offside trap to bring the defensive line forward. We then get the ball. Now the 4-4-2 is all on balance. We do get the ball over here. We're going to do a first time pass to Nedved. Control, go outwards, go inwards. Should have been a goal there. Should have been a goal. Got a bit lucky there. Now with the 4-4-2, you've got to be a bit more careful. Now because it now is getting towards the latter end, you can be now aggressive. This one you need to be aggressive now. Traditionally speaking, you would use team press. But since we're focusing on pressing manually, I'm not going to use team press. I'm just going to try to press just single-handedly using the run button and the run and jockey. L1 trigger. Now I need to be safe now because if he makes a through ball now, I could concede. He's made a good foul, to be honest. So 72 minutes. So here, I'll be honest as well, I'll be using team press. But as you can see now, I've got 2 strikers up front. So I've got a bit more of an attacking threat. And this way I got more players on. Now I'll be honest, in this situation when you're pressing, the only issue is that stamina is a big issue. You'll find that your players will run out of stamina quite a lot, especially if you're playing kickoff, and it is viable to make a sub. Now as I said, the faster player is, the better it is for pressing. As you can see, he's holding the ball a lot. We're going to try to run now with Neymar, and this is why I said team press is very effective, but it is better to press like this. As you can see, get the basics, get the core out of the way, and we're in a perfect situation. Excuse me, sorry about that. But as you can see, he's holding the ball. Offside trap. Attempt to apply the pressure. Bringing players from deep. Get the ball there with Kante. L1 trigger now. Get Nedved forward. We're also going to pause the game now, just so we can make that sub. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually score now. We did not. So again, the offside trap to bring the defensive line forward. As you can see now, right stick switching, pressing very, very aggressively now. You see I'm bringing my CDM so far forward now. As you can see, so far forward, using my lamb now. Now you see now, see how I got the ball over there? He committed and he fell for the pressure. That's all you gotta do, just be patient, the chances will open up. Now it is 5-4. Now I'll be honest, in this situation, I'd recommend team press. I'd recommend increasing the depth. So just in this situation over here, what we're going to do is we're going to increase the depth a bit more. We're also going to increase the width because we want to be a bit wider when we're defending. We're going to put a fast build up on. And what we're going to do is we're going to make some subs. So we're actually going to put some faster players on. So we're going to put a towel over there. And we're going to put fast wingers on. The reason why I want to put fast wingers on is I want to press very, very aggressively. But the issue is when you have slow players, you can't really press, in all fairness. So I put a faster midfield on. That way they have more energy and they've got high acceleration, so I can press as fast as I can. So again, here we're going to change now. Look, we're going to do offside trap and we're going to press. Right stick switch, run forward, run forward. Again, we've got no team press. We're going to try it now. This is when the offside trap, this is where you need a high depth. Because if you have low depth, what happens is your players will just sit back all the way. This is why the depth increase is extremely important. Again, L1 switching. I'm trying to get the ball. See, I'm kind of trapping him together. Then I'm using the striker, forcing him to make a mistake, forcing him, waiting for him to create a gap. And then again, switching. Now this is why, as you can see, team press is really, really effective because you can press with multiple players. Here I'm in trouble. I know he's going to do a through ball, so I'm going to kind of run back and predict he's going to do it. He switched the ball back. Now he's under pressure. Going to now press with Aubameyang. Edison. He's now made a big mistake. Get the ball back over here, and I got a situation now. Got the ball again. See the pass the ball to Neymar. Oh, very, very terrific, world-class save. Probably a mistake on my end, but anyway, that is just a perfect example and a perfect tutorial of how easy it is to press. Now, although in theory I lost the game, it's kind of what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you that you can press manually but just using the right analog stick. You may have to literally go back and watch this video because a lot of the situations, for example, when he held the ball, it was hard for me to close down. You could see, for example, in some of the situations where he had the ball and I had to get the ball off him. As you can see, I'm always right stick switching, always trying to create the chance. One thing you can do, by the way, just a quick tip if you are watching this, if you go to the last replay and you watch the replay, let it finish. After the replay completely finishes, you will have a chance to actually look back at the game. So let the replay completely play like so. Now don't skip, don't press anything. Now once it's like just over here, then once the animation stops like this, you press the R3 or the L3 button and you can actually go back just a little bit longer. So as you can see over here, you can see realistically what's happening over here. You could see from my striker perspective what's going on. So as you can see, my striker, he has the ball over there. I press with my striker, I then change to my lamb, I then press with Nedved, then I press with Neymar, then I right stick switch to my cam, my second striker, and you see I'm applying more and more pressure. You see I'm forcing him to not go backwards. See that? So what, by standing here and moving into this space over here, what I'm doing is I'm forcing him to go that way. Because yes, I could have applied pressure to him directly, but he was wasting time. So I went a bit more forward to force the ball forward. And then watch, you see I'm switching all these players and I'm manually dragging them forward. You see that? So like, see with Aubameyang, for example, I right stick switch to Aubameyang and I brought him forward. These are very, very important to get these players in these positions, as you can see. Then I changed to a towel and I brought him forward. I said AI did not give me any assistance there. That's just me with increase the depth. Then once, as you can see, look, once I applied pressure to him, he was in panic. Kante got applied pressure, or I think whoever that is, got applied pressure by a towel. Then switch back to Saint-Maximin. And you can see, look, you see how his player makes a move. Look, now I've got a 3v1 situation and you see how he's trapped now. And I knew he was going to make a pass, so I go back a little bit. Then I quickly switched to Saint-Maximin and I applied the pressure. And that way, look, I forced him to make a pass like that and almost forcing him into a mistake. You see that? Then I switched to Aubameyang, I press him, and I forced these balls at these half chances. and then I force him to make a mistake, then I get the ball back, and then you can fight for one more chance. In all honesty, I should have just shot the ball there. I don't know why I didn't shoot there. But realistically, looking back there, in case you're wondering why I didn't shoot, I honestly have no idea why I didn't shoot there. I just thought, you know what, let me just overplay it a little bit. But what a terrific save that was, actually, by the goalkeeper. Terrific save. Don't even know how that even saved went into the. Let's have a look at this, actually. Yeah, good save by the goalkeeper. But anyway, that's a good example of how you can right stick switch. I'd recommend watching this back, seeing what buttons I press and my inputs. I think that will help you a lot. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, boys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace out.